with that, the Achilles heel with that is if you get up and get the courage to keep on going, every time you get up and dust yourself off, you make the same mistakes each time around because you never backed up to have what I've now learned and still learning is the courage to go, no, I'm gonna let some people pass me in the race right now because I'm gonna look at why I keep stepping in that damn same pothole, twisting my ankle. The same spot, why I keep failing when I try to get that next spot in this relationship or failing in this place to get this product of my craft to the next. There's a time for everything, and for everything you reap, that will you sow. There's a time to kill, there's a time to live, there's a time to plant, there's a time to gather. And you need both. You know, I sit here with a life where I have the luxury to ask myself and ask others, no, make a sacrifice today. Sacrifice something today for more freedom tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for a possible healthier future for your kids. I understand that's a luxurious position. I'm not gonna apologize that I'm in it, but I understand as someone in misery, they're going, it's a privilege, man. I'm trying to put food on the table right now. I'm paying my rent tonight. You want to talk to me about investing in my future? I'm trying to feed family tonight. I'm not thinking past that. I can't think past that. Well, if you don't have the hope or believe in something, you're definitely gonna remain where you are. And if you have hope and faith in something, I'm not saying it's 100% get out of jail. You're gonna absolutely get out, but you got the best chance to. And what if there is nothing there, man? What if there's nothing to hope for? What if there's no next? I don't know. But either way, not having any hope or faith in anything is a certain way to remain where you are. But if you can find something that no matter how small, to look forward to and continually have faith in and chase, well, then your life here is gonna be better now. If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do. Do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, if I just would, that keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something, you just don't know. Whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves. Half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way. Someone said this to me before. Matthew, you're so full of yourself. And without thinking, I was like, well, who else am I supposed to be full of?
That's a good line.
And I stopped there. I was like, that's exactly what I meant. I wrote that down. I wish more people were more full of themselves. I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. At the same time, be able to, as we do more often, look in the mirror when we fail and go, bogey, you did not pull that off. Give others and yourself more credit. Happiness, you can't guarantee it, but there is a science to satisfaction. There, you can look at habits that engineered less pain in your life, maybe more pleasure, but at least less pain. And that's a win.
So much easier to be supportive and gentle of other people than of ourselves. You know, you will happily bestow this sort of gentle, reassuring pat on the shoulder when somebody succeeds or falls short when they tried their best. Yet, given the fact that you tried your best, you give yourself a kick on the way out of the door and a harsh word to follow you.
Yep, because I got myself in the pickle. Because things didn't go how I wanted it to go or how I believed it could go. Life's the ironic tragedy. Life is pain. I'm the reason that I stepped in, which is also an asset. Even if someone goes, why are you giving yourself so much credit for screwing that up? We're gonna make mistakes. You gotta own them. Then you gotta make amends. And then you gotta move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. So turn the page, get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life. There are habits that I notice of things I take care of in my life, health-wise, faith-wise, father-wise, husband-wise. If I'm doing that consistently, there's less valleys.
The ironic tragedy is that life has to be lived forward, but only makes sense in reverse.
But when you look back, we can all connect every single dot. It's mathematical, scientific, how we got to this table right here. It's all connected if we go back and look at it. And there's a whole lot of, I thought that was the end. Well, it was the end, but it was the beginning of this thing. What you're leaning into is that mystery going forward, right? That ironic tragedy that you have something to push off the, well, I don't know what I do want, but I do know I don't want that. You have leverage.
Yes.
You know, it's there. You know, we always say, well, who are you? You know, I want you to figure out who you are. And we ask, I try to ask my kids that now. Well, I want you to know who you are. And a part of that who's helped me is Bob Dylan's lines, like, I don't know what all this talks about who we are, man. We are all just what we create ourselves to be. That gives me a little, that's relaxing. But it's so much easier to figure out who you're not. And if you start eliminating the who I'm not, by sheer mathematics, you end up
moving toward
more of what feeds you and who you are. And it's a hell of a lot easier thing to go, how can I get rid of some bullshit in my life than it is to go, well, how do I go to my true self?
Do I want to press the accelerator more quickly, or do I want to take my foot off the fucking brake?
Sometimes the hard work and the endurance and the elbow grease, the work harder we were talking about, that hustle is not the way out. Sometimes it's I need to back up, laugh, have a sip of my favorite whatever, and dance my way through the raindrops out of this sun. And even looking at the things that are bad and going, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
I think one of the themes of your worldview that I've become familiar with is alchemizing bad times into good ones. A reminder that things that seem bad can end up being good. How can people, or how do you have more of that perspective during a hard time?
I probably start off intellectualizing something that I know I probably should believe in, but don't believe in it, and convince myself, even to an extent to trick myself, that, you know, sit here and go, well, you just tell yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, great, what the hell's that mean? Even if it's true. In the moment, you're like, what are you talking about, man? I'm in the debit section. I'm in a warning section. This sucks. I think that how much I'm conscious of it or not, my undeniable optimism and faith that this is how it is. And if it is, oh, so what? That's okay. Well, then really, so what? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? It minimizes. I seem to have a tendency not to make a bigger deal out of things that other people make a bigger deal. Dramas. I don't like to create false drama. When it comes and it's hard, I am affected. I get the blues. I get sad. I get mad. I'm a shit to be around. I can't get to sleep. I got demons in my own head trying to work the riddle out. Why did this happen? That's the other thing that's tough for me is I think that any bad thing that happens to me, my initial reaction is, what'd you do wrong to lead to this?
Heard a quote recently that said, every man knows reflection and introspection when he's at his lowest. Bad times, you can't do anything other than wallow in retrospective assessment. But one of my favorite things I've learned from you is when things are going well, given that that's presumably what you want to have more of, maybe worth deconstructing that.
Yes. Can I try and bottle some science here to why things are going well? And I did find consistencies. You were appreciating more. You were pointing out beautiful things and not taking them for granted. And so I found a list of things. I'm like, when I get off track, I try to remind myself, you've been slacking on some of those. I've definitely found consistencies, and I think we all have them if we just notate them along the way, that they're not by accident. Let's cheers. Let's have a cheers on the way for all the things that work for when we have it going right. Also knowing that it's not forever, that we will have a mountain to climb here shortly. What's my best advice I need to give myself right now is listen to my own damn advice.
You've got this great line where you say so many people are obsessed with how to live longer instead of how to live better. How do you kind of think about that?
I'm for it, the longevity. I'm for it. But in the pursuit of it, are we measuring quality of life along the way? Some people aren't. And I personally don't want to have the highest number, but then go, oh, that wasn't any fun, or I didn't enjoy that, or that sucked. Profit measures quality with the quantity. So I'm saying real success is when you have profit. Well, really great longevity would be for those quality years, quality time left in this life. I also say that because while I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not really afraid of death or dying. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm shaking my boots if I'm face to face with that great white. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to it. But I see it as obviously it's inevitable, and obviously I personally see it as hopefully a comma, you know, not a period. So, what's eating at me? I felt like life is good, man. I make good money. I feel like I can roll out of bed and do one of these tomorrow morning. Well, that's cool. I'm the go-to guy for this. I was countered by, I had met Camilla, fallen in love. She's now pregnant with our first child. My life was extremely vital, and I was alive, cried harder, laughed louder, felt more joy, all those things. But my work was like, all right. And I was like, well, I wish my work could be as challenging or as vital as my life. And I remember looking in the mirror going, well, be glad right now. Appreciate that it's not the other way around. But can I have my work challenge my lifestyle in this vitality? Yeah, if I do some dramas I want to do, well, those aren't coming. All right, if I can't do what I want to do, let me quit doing what I do. Now that was, it was definitely courageous. I did honestly think I'd written myself a one-way ticket out of Hollywood. People close to me, basically almost everybody besides my wife was like, what is your major malfunction, little brother?
You got it made.
Why are you throwing a jackknife in this stuff? Well, you're tripping yourself running downhill, man. You did it. And I had my wife and myself to remind myself of that 4 a.m. clarity that I had in tears when I was like, no, I'm rolling the dice. I'm sticking with it. Yeah, man. I did think I wrote myself a ticket out of Hollywood. I did look at other vocations, become a teacher, a wildlife guide. I seriously looked at those things. But over time, and it was about 20 months, it was gone long enough, I found anonymity enough, it was not in your living room in a theater in a rom-com, you didn't see him on a beach shirtless. Where is he? Turning down the $14.5 million offer. Maybe people go, oh shit, what's he up to? You don't just step out of Hollywood and enter, unless you turn that down because you got a plan. You got somewhere you want to go. And I think that made me more attractive as a new novel idea. But that was, that risk I think it's fair to say that took a fair amount of courage from me.
For a lot of people, their work feels more vital than their life.
Yeah.
Is that a shiny object mirage that they need to rid themselves of?
If you can and you're willing to, yeah. Look, that's part of why I started writing. The script flipped on me 5 years ago. I was like, I was feeling like my work was more vital than my life. I felt like I was going through the motions more in my life, but I was really getting major life experiences through my work. And so that was a challenge to myself, which led to the writing, which was a more direct experience. Can I put a word down without, it's my script, and without my performance on it, without music, without pictures. So that was an inward journey that I'm still on. Yes, confidence, identity, testing it out, and it can work. Confidence to go, I'm gonna try and pull this off. Maybe get away with it, maybe it won't work. Pulling things off. And I have an innate ability for something that I believe I have the innate ability. And I learned the reason behind that instinct and how to where's the right time, timing. Oh, it'll work, I think right here. Who's the audience I'm talking to? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make a plan for that sell, if it's all sales, for that transaction, or whatever, and bam, it hits, and it lands like I wanted it to. Dogs, damn it, was that deja vu? It happened. That's how I saw it. I get confidence from that. I don't think it's what the mystics meant when they were like, be disattached. It can mean go embrace, but for highs and lows and pains and pleasures, understand that those outward things are not the things to be attached to for your own identity. It's got to be inward first. Enjoy those, partake, but don't become attached to those for your measure.
Without complacency, trust that time is on your side.
Yep.
What do you mean there?
Yeah, man. I'm good ahead or behind it. And I can get in a rush. Look, and I know how to hustle, and let's go. The clock's ticking. We're all behind. All hands on deck. We got to bust ass. No time for pause. There's no sleep, no nothing. Get the caffeine out. Let's go. Sometimes we got to do that. But that is usually because an unforeseen circumstance has happened, that there's a crisis we got to deal with, or we've procrastinated and put myself in that position where we got cram. But it's not those two circumstances. We got to watch ourselves getting ahead of time. And it's on your side.